Hi, it's been the driest start to a spring for 69 years. Now, whilst many of us are enjoying that, it is causing problems, particularly for farmers and growers. So the question is, are there any signs of a change as we head towards the end of May and into the early part of June? Well, in the short term, there will be some rain around, particularly in southern and western parts of the UK. The potential actually exists for some heavy, thundery showers, especially in the south on Monday, but they will be hit and miss. So rain totals likely varying a lot over short distances, with some places staying completely dry, even in the south and the west. Then once those showers move away, it's dry and settled conditions which return. But there are now some tentative indications beginning to appear in the computer model output of a more general change developing as we head through the last third of May. This graph shows forecast upper air temperatures for the next 16 days over London across its top half, and its lower half, which is more important here, shows the forecasts of rain from all of the individual runs within the ensemble. The key takeaway is that from around the 21st, the number of spikes along the bottom there starts to increase. It's showing an increasing risk of rain. And it's a similar picture for many other locations in the United Kingdom. I'm just using this chart for London to illustrate. The European ensemble model shows something similar. This goes out 15 days ahead, but more or less the same time period as the previous one, which was from the GEFS model. Once more, the chance of rain is increasing from around the 19th to 20th to 21st of May. And there are quite a few rain spikes showing up on this particular plot, although it's worth bearing in mind that it contains more individual runs than the GEFS, which the previous chart was generated from. Hence, you will tend to see more spikes showing up. But the trend here is a similar one. And the probability of 5 or more millimeters of rain falling in 2 weeks' time, based on data from the ECM ensemble model, is significantly higher than it has been in many recent updates. You can see the green shading there in western parts of Britain, parts of Northern Ireland. It's indicating a percentage chance of between 20 and 40. So in recent days, that's often been around 5 or 10%. We're now seeing it going up to 20 or 40. So whilst at this stage it isn't pointing towards a washout by any means, it is just hinting that things may be starting to change. The Atlantic could be coming back. And that is supported by the postage stamp plot here, which shows pressure patterns. It's difficult to see the individual stamps on this chart, but each one has the UK in its middle. It's the view across the North Atlantic region. And if you pause it perhaps and look at them closely, what you will see is that many of them have low pressure close to the United Kingdom. The chart here is for Friday, the 23rd of May. At this point, I really don't think there's any value in trying to work out where that low pressure is going to be positioned. The key thing to note is that it's becoming more and more likely that low pressure will be having an influence on the UK's weather and high pressure will be declining. Another way of looking at that is by the mean surface level pressure snapshot charts. These are generated from the GEFS. Tuesday, the 20th of May here, it's still very much a high pressure dominated scenario. The UK in the middle of a red circle. But if we move forwards to the 25th, pressure has declined and there are suggestions here that low pressure will be centered somewhere close to the west of the northwest of the United Kingdom, although, as I said, it's not important at this stage to try and establish where that low pressure is going to be. But the key point, just to reinforce the message, is that it looks like pressure will be starting to fall as we head through the final third of May. So to summarize all of that, there will be some heavy showers around in the short term, the possibility of thunderstorms in the south, maybe in the west, but hit and miss. High pressure then brings more settled weather, but by the final third of May, signs of a change, pressure begins to decline. The Atlantic may be returning. The chance of showers or longer spells of rain rises, and that could herald the beginning of a more generally unsettled period of weather rather than just a brief interlude. But of course, it's a long, long way off, and I'll look at this in more detail in the 14-day forecast, which I will film during the first half of next week. Anyway, I hope you found that useful. Perhaps some signs of hope for farmers and growers that the weather finally is looking like it will be changing. But as I say, it's still very speculative at this point. Anyway, if you did find this useful and enjoyed it, please give the video a like and of course consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. That way you'll not miss any of my future updates. Thanks so much now. Bye.